All right, guys, happy January 12th. Coming to you full of energy, totally excited, absolutely freezing. It is cold out there, so make sure that you're bundling up no matter where you are at. But excited for today, excited for the weeks to come. And we're going to talk about some of the sentiment. We talked about it briefly on our Play Bigger call yesterday, but there's one thing I wanted to mention from that call, because I don't want those two to have parallel conversations. But we'll get right into that in just a minute. Brandy, it was really good to meet you first off in person. It was cool to see you. Great to have you out there. I'm actually going to turn over to Dominique. Dominique, I just want to give you praise for a minute while you're here. Dominique has been, since day one, she's always looked at this business and said, how can I contribute and how can I give to others? And she does that at a very, very high level. Yesterday, seeing you present, she hosted an event, I think a month and a half ago, or maybe last month, with Christina about appraisals. And it's just tremendous value. Now, obviously, that's her time, that's her energy, and she's willing to pour into the community. So it's just great to see how much that you give back to this community, how much you're willing to collaborate, and how your presentation skills continue to improve and enhance and get better. So thought I'd turn the mic over to you, Dominique, and have you bring us out on the field on this beautiful Friday morning. So hit us with some sentiment. It's good to have you back from Costa Rica. I was all about the monkey story. All right. I was like, wait, the monkeys go on the boat? So anyways, good to see you. Let's have you take us out on the field
Thank
today.
you. Hey team, good morning. I think it's really good for us to always know that it's never too late to reset. To just reset yourself. Being away in Costa Rica made me realize, and seeing the way that the people live out there and how grateful they are for what little they do have. It made me come out here with a brand new light, and just resetting yourself and realizing it's okay to laugh, smile, not be so stressed out, because in the end it'll all work out and everything's going to fall into place. But just resetting yourself, whether it's January, July, or it's September, being able to reset yourself is going to help you maneuver through this life. And life isn't easy. It's Life can be very stressful and tough, especially when you have family and kids and work, and everything is just so expensive now. And being able to bring yourself back and view everything and just reset what it is that you need to do in order to get you at that level where you're happy and smiling and wanting to give is going to be a big key to getting you through life.
Wow, I love it. And for the people that don't know, I know Costa Rica has a mantra, and the way that they live, it's the pure vida life. Can you talk to us a little bit about what that means to them, and how you can apply some of that to your everyday living here in the United States?
Yeah, that pura vida life is, so we went to the beach, and when we went to the beach, there were locals, the citizens there. They go with their family there. They're just chilling. That's what they do. When you pass by, we drove 4 hours to our Airbnb. When you drive by their house, they're not hanging out in their house watching TV, consumed with technology. They're outside in folding chairs, sitting there looking at each other. Their little communities have little soccer fields in the middle of their houses. They're out there playing soccer together with their neighbors. I mean, their whole life is just based off of just a pure, slow life of not so much stress. You don't see anybody honking at each other. We've seen them drive crazy. They don't honk at each other. They're not mad people. And it makes you realize when you come back home, like, wow, some people out here are really mad. But when you see the way that they live, it's just like a slower pace. Everything is just everything they do is outdoors. The kids are outside on bikes. The dogs are just roaming around neighborhoods. I mean, how many dogs I've seen in neighborhoods is crazy. And so when you start to see how pure and they live out there, but with so little, they don't have much, and it seems like they're completely fine with that. They go to the beach. It's not about dressing up, putting on your makeup to go to the beach in the best swimsuit. They go out there with their blow-up mattresses. They sit there with their family all day, and that's their life.
Yeah, I'll take that life.
Any day. We're actually thinking about possibly buying out there to just stay out there for a couple of months out of the year, because it's just so peaceful.
Yeah, and I love that. Like that reset, and I want to encourage everybody. It's early enough in the year. Like, plan something. I don't care if it's a 3-day. I don't care if you're able to go somewhere far. go, but like the feeling that you have when you're there and you reflect and you get to see other cultures, and it reminds you of how good that we actually have it, or how fast paced that we actually go when you're
Mhm.
sitting on the beach and you're just relaxing with the family. So Dominique, I love that for you and the family. If you buy a place down there, just let us know, timeshare that out to the team. That way we can use it on the off weeks that you're not using it. We'd love to be able to take some of that time. So
Absolutely.
all right,
Thank
let's go
you.
ahead and get rolling. I have a word for the morning, and I was reminded of this yesterday, and I'm reminded of this at our top producer dinner. First off, top producer dinner. Each of you have the ability to hit a top producer dinner, and here's how you get there. We do a top producer dinner for our team, and sorry, there's some guests on here for our team members. Every single quarter, we do a top producer dinner for the top producers for the month prior or the quarter prior, but it's monthly. So we did for October, November, December. Whoever was the top in units and the top in volume for each of those months got an invite to go to top producer dinner. So we had 4 new faces at top producer dinner. So it was really cool. Now, don't want to talk too much about that, but I was reminded of this. Just want to ask a very simple question, everybody. And all I want this morning and every single morning is just honesty. It's the 12th of the month so far. We had our goal planning. We did business planning in November. We set out these big goals and aspirations that we set out for the year. How many of you have maybe fallen short on some of the things that are on your list thus far? Maybe it was a video, maybe it was an action that you needed to do, maybe it was launching a newsletter. How many of you, if we're being honest and being real with each other, how many of you have fallen short? Maybe you missed a couple workouts, or maybe you didn't make the phone calls, or maybe you didn't get your follow-up boss set up, and whatever that is. How many of you have maybe fallen short on a couple things on their business plan? Let's be real. Okay, cool. And keep them coming, you guys. All right, cool. So first things first is I want everyone to look at their plan, look at their action items, and just get very, very clear to say, you know what? Am I able to be nimble, right? Meaning when I say nimble, can I move instantly and just start doing something else? If it's on my plan, if I'm not doing anything with it, then either scrap it and do something different or refocus. But I think like being really nimble, especially early on, be like, okay, cool. I thought I was going to do this, but I'm not really inspired to do that. I was talking to an agent yesterday. She's like, I'm just not too inspired by the ultimate grind. I want to build my business in a different way. And I respect that. And I'm in her corner 100%. But you have to be able to be very, very nimble, especially early on in the year. Obviously, you want to stay true to what you really want to accomplish in this business, but be able to be nimble and to make some adjustments. And if I have to use the word pivot, then so be it. Pivot, adjust, make the necessary changes, because the last thing you want to do is continue to have this plan that you think is going to work, that's not driving you to take any action. And then here you are in quarter 2 and you're like, oh my God, I should have done all these things. No, look at your business now, you guys. It's 12 days in. What are you doing? What are you not doing? And what are the areas in your business where you feel you can make some immediate changes or dismiss some of the things that shouldn't even be on your list? So the word for the morning, you guys, is just be very, very nimble in how you're running your business, especially early on in the year. So a couple things I want to talk to you guys about. And the first thing comes to mind is Vernon and Lissette. Lissette, I see you on. You did something that was really cool. And I want to give you guys some framework for some opportunities to build some content. And I ran into Brittany yesterday, and she was in the office, one of our team members. And she's like, Elias, I just don't know what to post. All right. And she was literally having a moment. And I said, all right, let's talk about this. So Brittany was able to help 19 families in 2023. Now, whether your number is 2, whether your number is 1, whether your number is 50, I don't care. She was able to help 19 people. And so she's trying to search for all these things that she could talk about, and contingencies and 2-1 buy downs and all these things that were a Snorville. And I was like, why not just tell the story of all of your consumers and talk to the mass public, about their journey, right? Hey guys, I had the ability to help Carlos and Ashley earlier this year. They were a young couple that was purchasing their home for their very first time. Here's the challenges that this couple faced. Here's what we were able to do in our negotiations. And here's what we were able to get them for a home. They're in a beautiful 3-bedroom, 2-bath, located in a cul-de-sac in Concord in a top-rated school district, and they could not be happier. If you're wanting to know what that strategy looks like for you and your family, DM me, and I would love to tell you how we help their family and how we can help yours. That in itself, you guys, is going to help you connect with other people and make it less about you. And I call this the hero's journey. I want you to unpack all of the business that you've done over the last couple of years and tell their story. And then if you've done quite a few deals in this past year, you need to go back and do some writing, and you need to say, okay, I was able to negotiate 10 offers. I beat 10 offers on this one. I saved my clients X amount on closing costs. I was able to get them, I was negotiate the list price down 20,000, whatever it is. Okay, on that one, 30,000, on this one, 40,000, and add that all up. And that is your 2023 compilation reel of how many people that you're actually able to help. If somebody like Demian was able to do the food bank for 6 months in a row, 10 months in a row, how many people did he actually help? How many potential families actually were able to get a bag of food because of his contributions at the Alameda Food Bank? And here's what I want you guys to think about. I want you to think about the heroes in your stories. Oftentimes we want to make this about us, and it's a vanity piece about us. But I want to go to Lissette because you guys did something that was really special. What stood out about the video wasn't your hair. It wasn't the beautiful dress that you had on. It wasn't Vernon and his dope suit that he was wearing. What it was Omar. And Omar was the story of that. He was the hero of that story. So talk to me a little bit about how this framework came about, Lissette. How did you say, let's do something a little different? Because so many people aren't doing buyer videos. They're doing listing videos. So talk to me about how this all came to fruition, because I think that there's a huge opportunity for everybody on this call. So Lissette, let's hit them.
Yes, thank you guys so much. So Omar is actually a referral from one of our previous clients. It's his cousin. And Omar has special needs, but boy, oh boy, is he a hard worker, and he's been saving and saving and saving and saving and saving, and the saving goes on and on. So he already played on my heartstrings because he came from a referral, and she's a dear friend of ours now too. I am going to give Vernon 100% props because this was his idea. I wanted to showcase him, Omar, and I wanted to showcase his family and how much they love him and they're down for him, and he is a priority to his family. So my piece of it was, how can we get the family involved? How can we surprise him? He's not your typical man in the sense that he doesn't drink, he doesn't like sports, he doesn't like music. Like, it was really hard to say, I want to give you a gift, because it didn't feel sentimental. Like, it didn't feel like it was a gift was the right thing for him. So Vernon came up with the idea of, okay, well, we love the community, we adore him, we love family. How can we showcase him? But, we're also agents, we're also here to sell. And how can we involve ourselves in that? So our number one priority was making it truly about Omar, because he really is the hero in the story. And we wanted you to see him and how he is shining and how he is happy and how we were able to help him, because it's all about him. We just got the benefit of being showcased in that because we helped him. And I also wanted to show the fact, we both did, that we really work hard for our clients. They truly become our family and friends. We actually both really manifest what kind of clients we work with. In the beginning of our careers, particularly mine, I had some really shitty, ungrateful clients, and they consume everything about you. It's not just the transaction, it's your life that they're consuming as well. And now that negativity has gravitated onto you, and I was not enjoying that at all. So I really have been manifesting, we really have been manifesting people that we want to work with. And we want to work with first-time home buyers that really deserve the dream. Not saying that all of us don't deserve the dream, but honestly, some of us do deserve it a little more than others. And so I'm grateful that, my partner thinks big and thinks outside the box, because y'all, I'm a little shyer. You got to push me to get me behind the camera just a little bit. But with Omar, it just came so natural because I loved him. I love him so much, and I love his family. And I felt that what you really see in this video is like you said, not beauty, you see joy. And that is what we wanted to show.
God, I absolutely love this. And raise your hand or give an emoji if you connect with what Lissette just said. I think that's really important as you guys are developing your brand and building your identity. And some of you are very clear on that already. Removing the you in the entire process. Obviously, we talk about our strategies and things like that, but how can I remove me when I'm talking about my success, right? It's not my success that obviously as a byproduct of that, I'm going to make money to support my family. But I'm looking around the room right now or looking around the screen. Ophelia in the year that she had, and Lissette and you know, Dennis and all these and Chris and Sophia, and I'm just only looking at Dominique, like George. There is so many stories. I literally, those people I just mentioned, that's probably 40 stories, right? When that video started to play, Lissette, I was like, I don't know about this new listing. I didn't know about that. And instantly, as you started talking, I was like, this is a buyer video. Oh shit, this is way different. This is way different. And I think that we need to see more of that. And so the point of this message, you guys, is look back over the course of the last year, last 2 years, and say, is there any stories that I can tell about their journey? Because what's going to happen is that somebody is going to connect with Omar because Omar reminds them of themselves and says, you know what? If Omar can do it as a single dude, he looks like me. He bought a condo. It's close to the water. Well, shit, why can't I? How do I do that? And that's all you want to do is make it relatable, not to you guys. And I'm not saying that you guys aren't dope people, but our consumers are even doper than we are. And they are the heroes in the journey. So Lissette, I think that it was properly done. It was well done. And I think that this should encourage everybody on here to remove the you in the story and say, how can we edify them? When we do that at the highest level, I promise you, referrals will come in. I think that video was beautiful. So well done. I don't want to spend too much time, but anything else you want to share about that experience before we head on?
Yeah, actually. So the family's big. We just got a little piece of the family there. And his sister, they lost their parents. And boy, oh boy, their parents did them right because they had properties and they set them up. So there's a portfolio of sales that come with them. We were not concerned about that. We were just really concerned about treating him right because we love Kimberly, his cousin, so much. His sister didn't say much throughout the transaction, but she was absolutely present. At key day, now she said a whole lot. And the whole lot started with, I love you guys. I love how you loved on my brother. I'm next. Let's talk. So the moral is, you guys, if you treat people with kindness and respect, it doesn't matter what they do, what their price point is. They could be at 2 million or at 60,000. They all deserve the same respect and kindness and your all. And if you treat them that way, the referrals will just, that's inevitable.
Yeah, well said, well said. And I'm going to be real with you guys. I love you. I appreciate you. For everybody that will see this in the future, nobody cares about your just sold, just listed, and pending. Nobody cares. I'm just going to be real as penitentiary steel right now, you guys. That's a vanity piece. That's for you. It tells nothing about their story and their journey and what it took them to become homeowners or sell their beautiful house and move into their new home, you guys. That's all about you. Make it more about them. Okay, cool. I had a question down here. Ashley, is that question for Lissette? Okay, but what about reviews? So elaborate on the question.
So if we get a really good review and you're saying make it all about them, and I do a lot of like first time home buyer success key day stories and I love them. They're my favorite. But do you think that sharing the reviews is just not as effective because it's making it more about us? Or would you still say to share the review?
I mean, I think sharing a review is important. I think how it's done. Could you share a review that is an overlay or a green screen with a video of your consumer saying, hey, this is what I was like working with Ashley? I think that has more impact. If they're willing to spend 10 minutes, 5 minutes writing a review, hey, Tom, I was wondering, it's kind of an awkward ask, but I was wondering, do you think you'd create a 30-second video about your experience working with me? Could you guys do that? Cool. Even my mom and Donald, who does never get on camera, made a video for me. So I think it's not bad, but I think you can enhance that for sure. I think you can enhance that. Yeah, I love what, so Christina, you put in the chat here, a video review versus a written review makes a different visual impact to a consumer, but true, trying to get someone to do it. Yeah, it's tough sometimes, but you guys have built such great rapport with them. Maybe like, all right, I'll hold the camera. You just say what you got to say, but I don't think posting the reviews is a bad thing at all. But Lissette, good job, good stuff. Any takeaways from what Lissette just shared? Any thoughts? Any contributions to what Lissette just shared? Let me make sure I don't move on too fast. Okay, cool. All right, I got a question for everybody. Let's do this together. I want to make this an active session. Right now, when you look at your database, just give me a number. You can put it down in the chat, or you can take yourself off of mute. How many people currently do you have in your database? And that database is your follow-up boss. My hopes is that you are running a CRM, whether it's follow-up boss, KV Core, I don't care. How many people right now, active numbers, do you have in your CRM? That is active leads, past clients, past referrals, all people. 293. All right, keep them coming, you guys. 3,900. Okay, cool. I love this. All right, 95. All right, cool. Keep them coming. All right, keep writing, you guys. Keep writing, or just let's see here. 130. Okay, 1,400, 234. Okay, cool. You guys keep them coming. A couple more. I want to see your numbers. 232, 1,149, 146. Okay, cool. Now, let me ask you guys a very, very simple question. First off, where are you storing your leads? Are they in Follow-Up Boss? Are they in KV Core? Are they on a spreadsheet? Are they on a piece of paper? If they're on a piece of paper, move those into a CRM. All right, so FUB, because we have guests on the line too. Not everyone uses FUB. Okay, cool. Carla, Samantha says KV Core. Lissette said fun, which I'm thinking is FUB. FUB. Okay, cool. All right, cool. Total expert. All right. So I want to ask you guys for my realtors on the call, because I know we have a couple lenders on the call. I want to ask you guys this. In the last 7 days, how many people have been active looking at homes in your database in just the last 7 days? Do you have that number? And if so, please put that number in the chat down below. How many people have been active looking at homes in the past 7 days? So stay with me, you guys. All right, so 2, 5. All right, cool. 6 to 8. All right, cool. Let's go. 3, 15, George. Okay, cool. George, I'm actually going to come back to you in a second, so don't go too far. Damina, I might come to you as well. 20. Okay, cool, Sarah. You know, I'm loving all the babies on the screen as well. Congratulations, Christian. Congratulations, Sarah. Christian, can you put her little cheeks on the screen really quick? We just see her little face. Look at their cheeks. Look at these babies, our little fast babies. I love it. Sorry. 8. All right, cool. Keep them coming. All right. Now, when you look at the people that are most active, the other thing that I want you to look at is I want you to ask yourself, from the last 7 days, the people that are actively looking, who has had communication from me that has been longer than that 7 days? And I'm going to give you a quick example of what this actually looks like, you guys, so you guys can follow along with this. So if you're in Follow-Up Boss, whatever system that you're in, you can do it in either system. What I want you guys to do is I want you to run 2 filters. So say this is Ashley, say this is Dominique, say this is, who is this here? Say this is Laura, whoever it is from now. What I want you to do on the far right side of your Follow-Up Boss is I want you to run 2 filters. First thing first is last activity less than 7 days, right? That means those are the people that are hot. Those are the people that are looking. Those are the people that are opening emails, viewing properties, liking, so on and so forth. And out of that bulk of people, what was the last communication that was longer than that? And I set this filter at 30 days, meaning, is there people in your store right now, since the new year, people are active, people are searching at an increased level since the beginning of the year? Who are the people that are in your store that are looking that maybe you haven't had communication with? And I want to give you a quick example of this, you guys. I ran a filter, and hopefully I don't pick on anybody's leads. It's not my point here, but my point is to bring some things to light here. So there's a lead in the system here. This person viewed 1 day ago. That property inquiry came in just yesterday, so we're right on track with this. Let me go through a couple of these. Let's see here. All right, cool. This one turned into a listing appointment. The recent activity is right here on the right-hand side. What we need to get in the habit of is anytime somebody is searching within 24 hours, I don't care if they just looked at a property, we need to look at their recent activity, dig a little bit deeper, see what's going on with this house. Is it pending? Is there an opportunity here? Did they have a price drop? Whatever that is, and then respond to the client accordingly. What's happening is that we're missing tons of opportunities. And I'm not saying that anybody is called out on this Zoom call. What I'm saying is that it's an opportunity for us to find and discover that right now, I promise you this, there is someone in your database that has looked at a home in the last 7 days, and for whatever reason, human error, you may not have called them. So what I want to encourage you guys to do is set up 2 filters. So no matter what, every single Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you're looking at your database and be like, okay, cool. Who's had? Like, wow, Tom's actually looking at, whoa, Tom looked at 6 houses. Tom looked at 4 houses just 6 hours ago. Guess what? I'm calling Tom. Even though Tom said he wanted to wait till March, I'm actually just going to call him and be like, hey, Tom, how are you? I noticed that you've been looking at homes in the Danville area, and I wanted to give you a call because the market has changed significantly. Where are you at? Like, just have that dialogue with them. You guys, I promise you this. This is going to be an opportunity for you just to uncover the leads that have been super, super active. So let's do a little role play on this. George Martinez, I'm going to go to you. Your number, I think it was 16, if I don't recall. Was it 16, bro?
15.
All right. So you have those people. Let's say that number is 15. Okay, cool. Stay with me, George. You have 15 people. Let's say 5 of those people out of your 15 recently looked at a home in the last 48 hours. Okay. You didn't know, but all of a sudden there's this resurgence in your follow-up boss, and you're seeing their activity. Like, wow, Blessing and Lissette and Ophelia and Rogier and Laura Nelson, they've all been looking at homes. What do you do right then? Like, what is the phone call? We'll start there. And what is the correspondence you would send to a client that fell into that category that I just described? Let's go there.
Yeah, that actually happened this week. So, hey, Elias, this is George Martinez. I'm reaching out because I noticed you looked at 26184 Stanwood Avenue in Hayward. It actually just came to the market, and I happen to know the agent in Hayward, just so you know, is actually pretty active, like super low inventory. I'm curious, what's your schedule like? I'm actually going to work out of our Hayward office today. So I noticed it is vacant, and since it just came on the market, definitely want to make sure you're acting fast with interest rates dropping. So what's your schedule like today after work at like 5:30? Are you available to go check it out in person?
Sure. I mean, I'm not far. I'm in Castro Valley, so yeah.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, no worries.
I'm gonna pause you for a quick second. Jessica, what's one thing that you heard George do instantly with this client? Jessica Hernandez, sorry.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
You got me off guard. I'm so sorry.
All right. Well, I'm going to probably catch more people off guard, but I'm going to go. Here's what I want to do. I want to hear what you guys heard George say and what he didn't say. And here's what George didn't say, and I'll let you guys talk about what he did say.
I have one.
Yeah, go. I knew it would go.
He didn't ask if they were available. He just said, I'm available at this time, or what times are you available? So he didn't ask, oh, do you want to go? He just said, what time are you available? So that's
Ask me if I cold, and I'll go to one other person, and then we'll kind of we'll go to the next segment of this. Let's go, Ash.
I was just gonna say the same thing. He asked him, like, he didn't say, "Are you available?" He said, "Are you available tonight at 6:30?" Just another option would be something I learned over my sales career. Instead of a yes or no answer, if you say, "Are you available? Are weekends or weekdays better?" That way you're giving them like, is today better or is tomorrow better? And it makes their brain choose between your 2 options, but instead of yes or no, and you're more likely to get a yes.
Let me ask you this general question, everybody, and thanks for the contribution. If George would have asked the question, from the homes that you saw, did you have any questions about those homes? What does that leave me open to say? a yes or a no. Now, hopefully they'll say, well, yes, I actually have some questions, but what if they say no? And now George's like, okay, well, let me know if you ever need anything in the future. And then the call runs flat and then he gets off the call. Damn it. I think I had an opportunity there. So I love this. I love this. Ashley, I love this, Jessica. Let's go to Nicole, Blessing, and then Dennis. Nicole, let's hear from you.
So I feel like he seamlessly educated them while creating a sense of urgency, letting them know that, you know, the market in Hayward is very active and, you know, that it just came on the market. So, you know, let's get over and see it now. But just letting them know, like, hot potato, you know, you got to
For
get
sure.
it or you're going to miss it.
Did it sound like George understood what's happening in the local market? And the fact that he's going where to work in that office and that he's going to be in that office, and I'm setting up tours for this afternoon, what works best for you? Literally, he knows the market. He knows what's going on. He knows how hot it is. And this afternoon, we're going to go see houses. I mean, there's so many great things there. Blessing, let's hear from you. And then Dennis. You're muted.
What I also heard was, what I didn't hear was, I'm just checking in. I saw that you were doing that. Like, that checking in makes it, like, it just makes, there's just no value that's adding there. But he also, whether he was planning on being in Hayward, he was going to be in Hayward because he saw that and it flowed seamlessly, just like Nicole said, that he was available. So we all have busy lives, but like making ourselves available without it being like putting the obligation or like making our clients feel guilty that we're rearranging ourselves was something that I also picked up from him saying, I'm already here, let me get you in, and just making it like an easy, like just a layup for the client to say yes.
Totally. Yeah, I can agree more. Dennis, let's hear from you, my man. What's your thoughts, contributions?
Yeah, just like everybody else said too. But I think I heard George say he knows the agent. So there's a relationship there already built. So providing more information or having that relationship where that friend would give you more of an insight.
Totally. And I'm glad that you said that, Dennis. If you guys have active clients, when you just looked at your list right now, when whatever you put down in the chat, you have active clients out there. It's in your best interest to do these two things. It's in your best interest to go to broker tour where you have your most active clients and go see the inventory. So just like George said, you're meeting the agents, you're building relationships, you're building connections, and you're building potential partnerships. And the second part of that is if that you have a consumer and there's not too many houses in the market that they're looking, say they're looking up in the Hayward Hills or they're looking in Castro Valley, and there's just nothing that fits their price point. I tell you what, you guys, Nike's on, get a buddy. Those are good door knocking opportunities. Why? Because most of the time when you knock on someone's door, they have this old script like, oh, I do have a buyer. If you'd let me do a listing presentation, it's false, right? There's just a thin veil, but that you actually have somebody that's pre-approved that is looking for a house. And obviously the inventory's tight. Just want to ask you what your plans are with your home. And would you consider putting it on the market if I could remove friction and bring you a qualified buyer? Well, shit. If you told your buyer that that's the type of work that you're doing for them, I would be so proud. They would be so proud of you and so honored. And then you probably would get yourself more opportunities for listings as well. Those are two things that I would make a non-negotiable if I have an active client where it's really, really troublesome for me to try to find them a house in that market. Jessica, let's go to you.
Yeah, I also like how he brought up the market, how interest rates are down right now. So I know that's been like a really important topic in the past few months. A lot of people didn't want to buy because rates were high. So yeah.
I love it. I love it. George, let me ask you this. When we're talking about your CRM, obviously you use Follow Up Boss. What are some of the best practices right now? And how are you really leveraging Follow Up Boss to make sure that you stay up to date with these people? What is your cadence? What's your flow? What's your nurture plans that you're using right now?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been working on that more so because that was kind of not my strong suit last year. But what I've been doing is I've actually kind of also gone back to like the basics and doing like a written day planner, making sure that I'm holding myself accountable. Like I'll put in the next day, like the people that I'm supposed to call, but I also have it tabbed out in Follow Up Boss. And I've been more proactive with utilizing Follow Up Boss, especially like calling people through it so I can listen back to my calls and then texting them as well. And then making sure that I have the Follow Up Boss app downloaded So then that way all the notifications come in instantaneously. But I've also been putting in people's birthdays. So that's also been another thing for me to go ahead and follow up with people, because I noticed for past clients, I wasn't putting in the home addresses and Follow Up Boss and marking them correctly, like closed, or like I've been working on doing the stages more actively so I can easily track that. But also kind of just updating my database and calling people and being like, hey, like, what's everybody in your family's birthday? Just wanted to check in. I wanted to send birthday cards throughout the year. And then I'm plugging that into my calendar. And so like today, I have a client's birthday that's today, that a week ago, I had a set, like a timer set to write a handwritten card and send that out. So it's more personalized. And then what I'm doing now is any postcards that I send, because I ordered like 500 postcards for $65. And I customized them with mine and Mike's info, and I'm handwriting them to people. That's something I learned from my last broker. And then I'm putting them, like typing word for word what I wrote to them in Follow Up Boss and tracking it. So then that way, a week later, I can go ahead and follow up with them and be like, hey, did you get my note? And I remember what it is, because one week I did like 30 handwritten notes, and no way I'm going to remember each personal note that I wrote to everybody. And then it makes it easier too for me to go ahead when I partner with somebody else and we're sharing Follow Up Boss, so they can actually see what I wrote exactly in the note. So if they end up calling that individual, they can also kind of pick up what I wrote in the note and pick up those talking points too. So I've been trying to like more so personalize it. And then just really kind of driving people. Like I have the team VA every couple of weeks after like open houses, or I upload new leads, take the new leads and their contact info and actually upload those to MailChimp, so they can also be added to my email newsletter too. And that way I'm not missing anyone, whether people told me they have an agent or not, and I still got their info at the open house, I still do that. And it basically just ties people back all the way to all my socials and just tips each week and things to do around the Bay Area. So it's kind of more so like what I'm trying to focus on is more personalized, because I don't want to do like any more salesy, like make it seem salesy and like just say, hey, this is why I'm checking in. And then I think one thing that I did learn from Sharon speak a few weeks ago was kind of mass emailing people about when interest rates drop. So I've kind of been doing that too, using Follow Up Boss and getting like the mass email and then putting it into Google. And I think it only lets you do a mass of 100 emails at once, and pretty much emailing people like the taglines like interest rates dropping. And then you just say, hey, this is the interest rate for today. Let me know if you want me to continue reaching out to you and updating you on what's going on with today. It's just like 3 sentences. And I've gotten a ton of people that have hit me up through that in my newsletter. And I've just been trying to track it more easily and Follow Up Boss and like doing hashtags. So like investors, that's another thing that I'm trying to focus on, is investors for any flips off market. So I've been working on doing like the hashtags and kind of separating them that way. So if I come across an off market or flip, I can just go tag investors, and then pulls up everybody, and I just pull up their emails and BCC them in a mass email. So then that way I'm not just missing anyone, and then you're sending it out to 30 investors at once, and then maybe you'll get like 5 that bite, and then maybe write 1 or 2, 3 offers.
Love it. Love it. So I saw Lissette's reaction. I want to go to Dominique really quick, and I want to show you one other thing on Follow Up Boss. Lissette, let's hear from you, and then we'll go to Dominique.
Yes, George, you said that you have the VA exports from your Follow Up Boss to MailChimp, because don't laugh, but I was frustrated as can be, and I was about to manually do this myself, which that was not going to be the business. So can you please share how you did this? Because when I try to export, it says I need Kenny's permission, even my own stuff that I put in there.
Are you asking me or George? I'm sorry.
George.
Yeah. So I just messaged Molly and asked which team VA could do that. And then she just pointed me in the right direction. And then I just slacked that VA. And then that VA, I guess, since the VAs have access to all of Kenny's accounts, she just automatically was able to pull it. I just gave her my logins for MailChimp and my Follow Up Boss, and then she just did it. And then I got an email saying it was all uploaded.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right, guys. So I absolutely love this conversation. Let's go to Dominique really quick. I know you had something cool that you put in the chat, and I'm going to show you guys a couple things on my screen, but let's go over to Dominique.
Yeah, so I created a Google form because not only do I make connections with
buyers or sellers. I make connections with people that want to do HELOCs or refis and things like that. So I've been making a lot of connections outside of that I know can turn into something. So what I started doing was sending the Google form doc with a saying, and it's different for every person because every person's different, but it's something really small, like a couple sentences. I really loved connecting with you, and I just want to know a little more about you. That way we can stay connected, and just something like that. Sometimes I'll even send a $5 gift card with it, and then just kind of talk a little about that to them, and it always works. They fill it out, they have no problem doing it. It's really fast. Google Forms is one of the best probably to do it. It's very user friendly.
Do you have a copy of yours that you can drop in the, can you make a copy and just drop it in the chat?
Yes, I can drop it. I will, I gotta get on my computer. I'm on my phone today because I was out dropping Amina off, but I can send it to you if you want, and then you can send it or do what you want with it. Yeah, I can do that.
For sure. I love it. I love it. So you guys, obviously there's tons of different ways, tons of different systems. I'm going to show you something on my screen right now. Two things I want to share with you guys. So first off, let's go back here. One thing, like I said before, I want you to be conscious of every single thing that your clients are doing. Like this client in the last, let's see, in the last 11 hours has viewed all of these properties in San Francisco. Now, mind you, this is a person that an agent that's obviously going to follow up with this person, but it's listed at 1.598. This property is obviously a beautiful home. Let's see here, a little bit more information. Let's see here, let me expand this here. All right, cool. So you have all the information, all the details about the home. Now, what's happening is that the client is fixated on this certain area. So if you were able to do this and you were able to take this link here and you were copy this and you were just to put it into a text or into an email, right? You can do it here, you can do it here. Now what you're doing is you're speaking directly to the part of the brain that's already looking at these homes. Hey, Tom, I noticed that you saw 707-4773-393 119th Street. I'm setting up my tours for Saturday and Sunday. What days do you want to go and view these properties? So we're basing our formula on their behavior, and we're speaking right to the part of the brain that's already actively looking at homes. So you guys have this data, you have this information, so use it accordingly. That's why running those two filters on your follow-up bus or whatever platform that you're using will allow you to see who's in my store that I haven't just said, hey, hello, I'll be right with you. Or, hey, let me answer your questions. Or, hey, I know this about the market. This in itself, you guys, will be a game changer and allows you to communicate versus checking in with people. Checking in is the kiss of death. I hate that. So hopefully you find that helpful, you guys. A couple other things that I want to share with you. I'm actually going to save this whole presentation for another group coaching, but this is one thing that I want to share with you guys. This is something that every single person on this call should be doing. You should be doing a deal of the week email, a deal of the week video, right? Look at your MLS. Find a deal, meaning multiple days on the market, or maybe there was a price reduction, or maybe they just said we're open to, 2-1 buy down, whatever that looks like. That's the deal of the week. Maybe it's a fixer, maybe it's a flip, maybe it's a cosmetic, whatever it is. Hey, I just came across this property that might actually be one of the very best deals on the market. It's a single family home in Calgary. That's where Brad is. And it's under 400,000. Here's why I love it. Listed. Hey, whoever's talking or doesn't have themselves on mute, please mute yourself. Thank you. Here's why I love it. They listed out the reasons why they love it. Shoot me a reply if you want more info on this one. I'd be surprised if it lasts over the weekend. Now, it's not just to the active people. It's everybody in your database. And listen, you guys, the deals of the week videos, those things hit. Those videos hit. So if you're looking for some ideas to just get engagement or get some people to say, okay, cool, I want to talk to you about this, or what is that deal of the week? Or, oh my God, I have so many questions about that. Create some type of deal of the week. Because thinking about it right now, from the homes that you saw, there's probably a home in the last week that you saw that was a great deal that more people should know about it. So create a cool reel about it, create a cool email about it, something brief, something short to the point. But I promise you, if you do that and you do that routinely, people are going to look forward to Blessings Deal of the Week. Lissette has another deal of the week. Oh my God, that's a dump, or whatever it is. Or, oh my God, that's a deal of the week. That's actually pretty cool. I want to click on that. All we're wanting people to do is just to engage with you guys. And so you have the tools, you have the resources, you have the information. Just leverage that information to continue to keep your engagement at the highest it can possibly be. Because I promise you, I'm working with Zillow right now. I'm getting some reports from them. And my ask for Zillow was over the last 60 days, when you think about the data from Zillow, I asked is what has been the percentage increase of active buyers that have been searching as well as active sellers. And I know without a shadow of a doubt, the guy told us, he's like, those numbers are up significantly, but let me get you exact numbers. We know that demand is high right now. We know that buyer activity is now starting to pick up. Let's make sure that we're speaking to them at a very, very high level. Starts with organizing, getting all of your leads in the follow-up boss, and then working with those leads accordingly. I promise you guys, these are small little tweaks in our business that we're going to find opportunities. I did this last week with Jordana. I did this last week with Otis, and both of them found opportunities. And Jordana found a over $2 million opportunity that had been looking at homes that she hadn't contacted in a while. So it works as long as you guys are deep into the follow-up boss and deep into your systems. Let's do this. Let's go around the room. Let's get a couple thoughts, takeaways, where your mind's at, and what you're going to do today to take action in your business. I'm going to go over to Romel. I'm going to go over to Hugo. I'm going to go over to Chris and Sophia. So let's go, Romel. What's a key thought, takeaway from our session today? And what's one thing you're going to do today to go and take action in your business?
My thought today is what Lissette was saying about caring about your clients first and being service oriented and not really focusing on the transaction, but on being someone that generally cares. I was at Aspire yesterday, and that theme was running through the whole conference about being a service provider, and also knowing that, understanding what impact what you do will have on other people. So that kind of focus was huge today. Going through my follow-up boss and reaching out to all the clients who have been looking at listings that I've been slacking on reaching out to. So that's my goal today.
I love it. And it's sometimes we just need a reminder, like, wait, Tom said he's not. Why did Tom just open a house 4 hours?
Yeah.
I'm calling Tom because something might have changed, right? So Romel, I love that. Want to hear more about Aspire? I saw tons of people at Aspire. So good stuff. Let's hear from Hugo. And then I'm going to go to Chris, Sophia, Damien, and I'm going to have Jeff wrap our session in just a couple of minutes. So Hugo, let's hear from you. Key takeaways, thoughts, and what are you going to take action on today?
Good morning, Coach. Key takeaway, I really like what George brought up, pretty much taking advantage of the follow-up boss, seeing that perspective. So definitely going to go ahead and take advantage of that and put everything into follow-up boss. I have a database, but it's in a sheet. So go ahead and put that on there and start getting some RealScout activity.
I love it. Listen, the sheet is only for you to be able to see them, but you don't see any of the behaviors, because this right here, you guys, and if we're talking about, where's my RealScout? I'm sorry, I don't have it up anymore, but nonetheless, the activity is what we want to see. We want to make sure that we're constantly seeing the activity so we can respond accordingly. Now you're speaking directly to the part of the brain that's already looking at the white car with the red interior. That's active, right? They're looking everywhere for that white car with the red interior. Now we're speaking to that part of the mind. Let's go, Chris and Sophia. Chris and Sophia, key takeaways and thoughts from our session today, and what are you guys committed to taking action on today?
Okay, so today we're gonna do follow-up Friday. So I've been scrubbing my database a lot, like in the new year, and kind of just like reconnecting with everybody. So we're gonna do that and keep scrubbing through all of our lead services. And then I'm gonna do the deal of the week for Samandy's new listing that I'm hosting this weekend where I live, in the city I live in, Rancho Cordova. It's a condo, 2-bed, 2 full bath, going for $285. So that's an awesome deal, and really familiar with the area. So I'm probably gonna directly try to do like back emails to my farm in my neighborhood, and then like a more general one too. So that was a really good idea.
Perfect. I love it. I love the deal of the week. I love the act. And let's hear from you, my man. Looking good, looking swole, looking healthy. What was your key thoughts, takeaways, and committed action?
Oh,
No, Damian, sorry.
oh,
I thought Sophia was speaking on behalf of both of you. My
yeah.
apologies.
I missed
Okay,
the
all
name.
right.
I missed the name too. I was like, "What's who, where?" But
Damian.
no, I just wanted to hop on really quickly to encourage everybody to use your RealScout for real. Yesterday, I just had a previous client reach out. Her sister had a bad experience with her realtor, so she referred her to me just because I threw her in RealScout a few months ago, and now I'm top of mind again. And so she sent me the referral. Got an appointment to show her sister houses today. She wants to be in contract by March. So all that to say, it's automated way of making the work. So use your RealScout.
I love that. I love that. You guys, here's the thing. If you're not too familiar with River Island, I'm looking at this. If you're not too familiar with RealScout, put yourself in as a consumer. That should be number one. So as you can see, Elias is super active because what I did is I set myself up on a listing alert. I set myself up with some home valuations. I set myself up with some market updates information, so on and so forth. So the great way to do this and to be able to test it out on how your consumers are going to receive this information, we're actually going to be diving further into RealScout next week. Put yourself in there as a consumer and then check the emails and check the correspondence that you're actually sending to yourself. Because I promise you guys, you're going to find really, really great stuff inside of here on the activity, the behaviors, and there's so many great tools. You can link it to your social. We're going to go further and further into this in the coming week. But yeah, definitely make sure that your RealScout, your follow boss is on point as you're starting this new year. So Mandy, and then we'll close out with Jeff.
So one thing I started doing different that is so simple is any lead that I get now, I use KV Core, but I have the app. I know FUB, I believe, has also an app, and I just put them in there. I used to just be like, okay, I'll do it when I get home. They never got in there.
That's right.
Just
like speed to execution, you guys. Because how many of us are guilty of we're getting a lead and it's not in the database and it goes on a piece of paper and then you're like, oh my God, where's that guy? He called me. Gosh darn it, I can't even read my own writing. Literally, guys, I know it happens, all right? We're all humans. Put that right into your database. I love it, Jeff. I see you shaking your head. Jeff, let's hear some key takeaways from you, and then I'll have you closing sentiment and take us off the field.
Yes. Beautiful people. It's a beautiful day to be alive. It is a blessing to be in our spaces, to be able to do these things with these people. And it is all about relationships. And yes, you're going to follow up with people that are going to want to transact right now, but do not forget about the people that want to transact later. Because that has been one of my biggest goals this year. I know it sounds unorthodox to throw away like, oh, I want to do 20 minutes. I want discipline and consistency. That is my simplicity of my goals this year. Discipline and consistency. I have been in the gym every single day since late November and have been doing that. I've been reading consistency. So all my goals were surrounded around consistency and discipline this year and taking action. So I'll read a quote from the 4 agreements that I read yesterday that happens to align with exactly what we're talking about. You can have many great ideas in your head, but what makes the difference is the action. Without the action upon an idea, there will be no manifestation, no results, and no reward. You will not be rewarded for doing nothing. You have great ideas in your head, put them out there, go out there, step out on faith and do what you're supposed to do. But don't forget about those people that are also going to transact later, because we are the people that lay our seeds today so that they are sowed tomorrow. They are sowed next year. So I've had 3 conversations with people that I just needed to say, hey, what handle would you need to be comfortable with your rate in order to jump into the market? Oh, well, a 5. Oh, well, I have great information for you. We're actually expecting rates to be cut this year, and we could see that 5 handle later on this year. No one has a crystal ball, but that is something that could come up. Would it be okay for me to keep you updated with the market and what we're seeing from the forward-looking data in order to know what is going to come out of the rates this year? Yeah, that would be great. That's perfect. Okay, perfect. So you're laying those seeds for later on as well. Don't forget about them. But, tap in if you ever need anything, ever need any encouragement. We are all here together to go through this. It was a tough past couple of years, but we are in the correct place to make sure that this next year and 25 is an amazing year. I love you all. It's love, baby.
That's right, man. I mean, what a perfect way to end the session. You guys all have these thoughts. You have talent, you have an ability, you have great communication skills. The only thing that will ever stand in your way in this business is your lack of consistency and your lack of discipline. Listen, I'm not the smartest dude in the room. I've just been super, super consistent with my activity, and I always take massive action. That's why I'm a huge proponent of it for you guys. So I'm constantly going to push you to take those steps. And it's hard, and I get it. But I tell you what, it's harder not doing these things. When you don't do it and then you're trying to scramble, you're trying to figure out everything and you don't have money to pay your bills, that's harder. That's harder than you creating video, knocking on doors, doing open houses. I promise you. I promise you. So choose your heart. Have some fun this weekend. If you need anything, as always, I'm always here for you guys. And as always, you keep it moving towards your dreams, goals, and vision. And I don't just say that lightly. Hold on to those words. Keep it moving towards your dreams, goals, and vision. Everything that you do is supporting those values that you have for yourself, that huge vision that you've set for yourself. Hold true to that. Keep it moving towards your dreams, goals, and vision. Have an amazing weekend, you guys. Peace.